Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. This is the 45th part of What If Deku Was a Magical Girl Mascot. Quirk, Magical Girl Mascot. The author of this great fan fic is Emma. I will leave links to them and original story in the description. Chapter 45, Muscle Bake. Izuku wasn't sure how to process the information and neither could his conscious partners. After all, they were after him. Deku, growled out Katsuki, you need to focus right now. Katsuki is right, if you lose focus he can capture you, pointed out Shoto. Izuku took a breath. He looked at the villain in front him. He then activated Shoto's quirk and covered the villain a massive iceberg. Kota was gaping at that. How did you do that? He was on surprise. One of my partners has a very powerful quirk, laughed Izuku nervously. He took a breath. We need to get out of here now, said Izuku. However, before more could be said, suddenly the iceberg exploded. Both Izuku and Kota were shocked that the villain was unharmed. A nice trick you got there, said the villain, but it wasn't enough. Both of them saw he was covered in muscles. As in, his muscles left his body and now covered his kamepli. If you're wondering, my quirk gives me a tremendous boost in my speed and strength, but my skin can't contain my muscles, mocked the villain. Kota was shaking. Wait, said Izuku, realizing who the villain was. You're muscular, aren't you? The villain known as Muscular smiled. Deku, whatever is going on? Just get out of there, mentally yelled Katsuki. I don't think I can, fought Izuku. What do you mean? Asked Tsuyu, making sure that Katsuki couldn't yell at him. I'm tried from today's training, fought Izuku. If I run while also protecting Kota, I might make the wrong move. Izuku, you can get into a lot of trouble for this, pointed out Tsuyu. I don't know if I have a choice though, explained Izuku. However, before Izuku could explain more, Muscular tried to punch the two of them. But Izuku activated Tsuyu's quirk, grabbed Kota and jumped out of the way. They want you alive, mocked Muscular, but that doesn't mean I can't maim you. Why do they want me? Asked Izuku as he put Kota on the ground. I have no idea, said Muscular, but from what I can tell it's because of your quirk. My quirk? Asked Izuku. They're after my quirk for some reason, thought Izuku. What? Asked Ochako. Maybe they want you to bond with some villains, pointed out Melissa. Sounds like a fucking stupid idea. All that would be doing is giving Deku their quirk, pointed out Katsuki. Whatever the reason, thought Izuku. You're still going to fight, aren't you? Asked Inko. He's going to try to kill Kota and he outright said he's trying to maim me, thought Izuku. Plus we don't know what they plan for you, pointed out Shoto, taking the fighting side. Just please be as careful as you can, begged Inko. I will, thought Izuku. That was when an idea struck him, one he hadn't thought of before as a combination of quirks. And the others heard that idea. That sounds like a terrible idea, thought Tsuyu. We're already dealing with one forest fire, pointed out Tenya. Do it, thought Katsuki. I want to see if it works. You were the one against fighting him, thought Ochako. Whatever, muttered Katsuki. Izuku sided Katsuki, but he knew she was worried about him. But still he had to fight for not only himself but Kota as well. I won't let you hurt Kota, said Izuku. Like you even have a say in this, mocked Muscular. Izuku gritted his teeth and ran towards him. He swiped at the villain only but the villain to punch him away. Izuku was slammed into the wall hard. He screamed in pain because of this. I don't know what you were thinking, but you didn't do anything, mocked Muscular. Izuku managed to get up. He then activated a different quirk and pulled on one of his shoes, putting him off balance. He once again ran towards him and swiped at him, however once he had made contact this time he activated Tenya's quirk and got away quickly. Though he did trip. "You okay?" asked Kota once had gotten up. "I'm fine. I just used to the quirk I'm worst at using," laughed Izuku, trying to reassure him. Kota didn't look too sure. "Don't worry, I can still move," he said. He got right back up, and swiped at him again. But this time he used Tsuyu's quirk to get away, jumping away. However, Muscular suddenly got bigger and tackled him. "I don't know what kind of quirk you got," said Muscular, holding him down. Izuku struggled against him. "But I can see why they want it," said Muscular. Izuku managed to touching him, however. It didn't seem to nothing at first. However, that was when suddenly Muscular found himself floating. What did you do?" he yelled. He waited until Macular was high enough. "Release," said Izuku. Muscular was slammed into the ground. "Should I add more?" thought Izuku. "I have no idea," pointed out Katsuki, and shit. "What wrong?" thought Izuku. "We found a villain, and he licking a dismembered hand," explained Shoto. "What?" thought Izuku. "Focus on your fight, Deku," thought Katsuki. "We need to focus on this fucker." Izuku nodded. He still focused on the plan, however. Hopefully it would still work. Plus he hadn't noticed what he was doing at all, which was a very good thing. Meanwhile, with Katsuki and Shoto, they looked at the villain, who was dressed completely in black and looked to be insane, ranting about flesh. "So," said Katsuki. "Look. Izuku is fighting someone trying to kidnap him," said Shoto. "We don't have permission." Neither does Deku," muttered Katsuki. Back with Izuku and Kota. Muscular had gotten up from the damage. "I don't know what you're doing, but you can't escape me," yelled Muscular. Izuku knew he should try at least one more. He ran towards Muscular. He touched him a couple more times. However, Muscular grabbed him by Izuku's right arm. "I don't know what you're doing," said Muscular. "But it must be a half-baked stunt." "It's not," said Izuku. "At least I hope it's not." "What's that supposed to mean?" demanded Muscular. Izuku then activated Shoto's quirk. "If this worked, then he'll be covered in cack and sweat," thought Izuku. With his left arm he sent out fire at Muscular. And when it hit, Muscular was engulfed by a huge explosion. And so was Izuku. "Hey!" cried Kota. He ran towards the fire. Izuku managed to crawl out of it, and Kota started to cry. Why did you do it?" asked Kota. "Hey! I'm fine, I've been through worse," assured Izuku. "But that explosion!" cried Kota. "I'm fine," said Izuku. "I had a quirk that helped out with the fire activated at the time." Kota cried for many reasons. One was that it was Izuku saved his life despite being in danger himself. Another was because of something that Mandalay had told him a long time ago about meeting a hero. They looked at Muscular, who was unconscious from the large explosion. "You have a water quirk, right?" asked Izuku. Kota looked at Izuku. He looked at the fire that was going on in the forest. "We might need your help," said Izuku. "What about you?" asked Kota. "They're after you." "I'll get to you camp and then I'll hide," said Izuku. "Don't worry about me." Kota continued to cry. "Hey! Don't worry, I managed to beat him," thought Izuku. So the plan worked, thought Katsuki. Katsuki, no, thought Shoto. Everyone could feel Shoto's annoyance. You don't want to start another forest fire, thought Tenya. Another time then, thought Katsuki. Oh no, thought Achiko. Guys, thought Tsuyu. You ran into a villain too, thought Izuku. Yeah, thought Achiko. Indeed, the two of them turn into a girl dressed in a sailor fuku and holding some weird mechanism and holding a knife. I'm almost at camp. I'll inform Mr. Aizawa what's going on, thought Tenya. Back with Tenya, Mineta, Ojiro, and Kota, they got back to camp to find Aizawa fighting with a man covered in burns. However, they watched as the man he was fighting suddenly melted into goo. Do you think you can protect your student's eraser? Asked the man as he melted. Did he just melt? Yelled Mineta in horror. That doesn't matter, muttered Aizawa. He turned to Tenya and she knew that he wanted to know if they knew anything from telepathic bond. I do have news, said Tenya. Achiko and Sue as well as Katsuki and Shoto have ran into villains. Hagakure is unconscious but I don't know how, but she is still alive, and Izuku, said Tenya, the villains are attacking him so they can kidnap him. That's what he meant, said Aizawa. Where is he? He went to rescue Kota, said Tenya. Aizawa looked at Tenya. They're both fine, don't worry, said Tenya. Aizawa gritted his teeth. He left to find Izuku, after all his stud net was in danger. Thankfully at the same time Izuku was carrying Kota on his back using Tsuyu's quirk. Not too long later, the two did indeed meet up. Mr. Aizawa, called out Izuku. Aizawa saw him. He noticed that his clothes were covered in burns. Midoriya, said Aizawa, you engaged with a villain. Said Izuku. I would say, do you remember what happened in Hosu, but you had permission to use your quirk, muttered Aizawa with his eye twitching. Izuku sighed. Look, you have to get to safety, said Aizawa. I know, but I think I should at least tell Mandalay that I rescued Kota, said Izuku. Do you have time? Said Aizawa. Izuku flinched when he said that. I'd be cutting it close, but it's dark and with my skills, sighed Izuku. Aizawa sighed. I'll take the kid, but head to camp once you deliver the message along with one I want you deliver, said Aizawa. Izuku nodded. He gave Kota to Aizawa and headed back to the clearing where the wild wool pussycats should be. However, Izuku ran towards the clearing. Aizawa wasn't sure if he had made a mistake or not, and he could only hope that it wasn't a mistake. That will be it for this part. I hope everyone enjoyed. If you did, please leave a like and comment if you want part 46. If you want to hear more from me, subscribe. I hope to see you all in the next one.